The story begins by showing a narcotics police unit chasing down a van driven by a group of young gangsters. Apparently, these gangsters are smuggling illegal substances under the guise of delivering washing machines. But as they become cornered, they desperately try to slow down the police by throwing washing machines out of the van, causing Yes, the police car came to a stop and one of the officers was crushed by a washing machine, left on the brink of death, forcing the chase to come to an end. Then, we are introduced to a detective named Walker, who sits, lost in deep thought. In that moment, he reflects on the sins of his past. He was once a member of the narcotics division, colluding with 4 of his colleagues to smuggle illegal substances in exchange for money. In the process, they accidentally killed an undercover police intelligence agent. To cover up the incident, they placed the victim's body in an oil drum and sank it into the river. Because of his past, he was divorced by his wife, lost custody of his daughter, and became trapped in a cycle of guilt. And on this Christmas Eve, Walker buys a toy, a small gift, for his daughter. But his ex-wife refuses to let him come to the house. She no longer trusts him. She doesn't allow their daughter to even answer his phone call, nor does she accept the gift he brought.
6-year-olds go to sleep at 7.
Not at Christmas.
While Walker was still on the phone with his ex-wife, he suddenly heard a commotion coming from one of the apartment units. It turned out his subordinate, Ellie, was raiding the door of a couple's residence. The man inside had apparently assaulted his girlfriend, and when Ellie saw the woman, bruised and beaten, something in her snapped. She became furious and Seeing that, Walker scolded Ellie because this kind of case wasn't her responsibility. It belonged to another unit. He then told her to get back to the car. Meanwhile, we are shown the gang of criminals who were previously chased by the police. This gang is led by a man named Charlie, and they are now forced to smuggle illegal substances, all to help Mia pay off her debt. Charlie and his girlfriend Mia are preparing to make a deal at a nightclub, under the watchful eye of Ching, the uncle of the Triad boss. And then, we are introduced to the Triad boss himself, Tsui. Turns out, Tsui is an old friend of Charlie, but ever since Mia stole Tsui's car, the two of them have been forced into trafficking illegal substances to repay the debt. After becoming the Triad leader, Tsui changed completely. He's now arrogant, prideful, and even treats Ching, his own uncle, with blatant disrespect.
You can leave us.
Due to being fed up with all of this, Ching secretly hires masked hitmen to eliminate his nephew, Tsui, and his men. And this is what happens. Not long after that, Walker and Ellie, who were out on patrol, suddenly received a message from headquarters. A shootout involving the Triad gang had broken out. They immediately rushed to the crime scene.
All units, 1071.
Upon arriving at the scene, Walker and Ellie were stunned by the horrifying sight before them. Walker knew all too well. The brutal death of the Triad leader would undoubtedly spark a bloody retaliation. Meanwhile, Ellie discovered fragments of a mask and surveillance footage that clearly showed Charlie at the scene. With Mia's handgun prominently visible, Ellie immediately assumed they were the prime suspects.
Look around, what's that? These.
Assault rounds.
Is she supposed to have killed him with a pea shooter? I don't think so.
And we're saying that they left this way?
Yes, it's been established.
In addition, he noticed many bloodstains on the emergency stairs. This led him to think that the guards weren't fatally wounded, but had escaped during the chaos.
Yeah, John Doe here must be working the door, so I need to call every ICU. Call me as soon as you have any updates, all right?
Yes, sir.
In the middle of the investigation, Walker left, saying he had other matters to take care of. It turned out, he went to meet Lawrence, a corrupt mayoral candidate who also happened to be Charlie's father. Walker immediately asked about Charlie's whereabouts. However, Lawrence explained that ever since Charlie's mother passed away, he had never returned home. Walker then informed him that Charlie was now the prime suspect in the Triad gang shooting case.
Your son just started a gang war. They just want to shoot him dead. That's the end of his story.
How you gonna get me out of this?
You fucking serious?
Fuck think you are? This is my town.
Because if Charlie was proven guilty, Lawrence's chances of being elected mayor would be ruined. To him, power was everything. That's why Lawrence ordered Walker to find Charlie. However, Walker refused to be bossed around any longer. He wanted to turn over a new leaf and redeem himself, hoping to one day reunite with his daughter. Lawrence then threatened to expose all of Walker's past crimes, with no other choice. Walker reluctantly agreed, but demanded that all evidence of his past wrongdoings be destroyed.
What do you want?
I just want you out.
There will be no more running around after that. That's it. All right. That's what it will cost.
Get him back.
Yeah, I go get him. I bring him to you. And I never see your fucking face again.
You heard me.
I can work with that.
The following morning, we are introduced to a charismatic elderly woman, the supreme leader of the Triad, and Sui's mother. She traveled all the way from Hong Kong just to see the lifeless body of her beloved son lying in the morgue. Not long after, she made her way to the Triad's headquarters to confront Ching and his men. Without saying much, the mother unleashed her fury, executing them, one by one, for failing to protect her son, and thus Ching was fortunate. As the Triad matriarch spared his life, he managed to turn the situation around by claiming that the person behind her son's death was none other than Charlie, the son of mayoral candidate Lawrence. On the other side, Walker was seen arriving in Chinatown, and unexpectedly, he immediately assaulted a Triad member. It turned out, Walker did that to raid Ching's men, who were hiding in an illegal clinic. After breaking into the clinic, Walker intimidated one of Ching's men, pressing him for answers about the shooting incident from the night before. And according to the man's confession, the culprit wasn't Charlie, but a masked group, all wearing hockey masks. After Walker left, the clinic owner, who had secretly betrayed Ching, immediately eliminated Ching's men. The other hand, Lawrence is seen on his journey, stuck in traffic. Suddenly, he is surrounded by members of the Triad, assigned by the mother of the Triad leader. Despite being in the middle of the road, these Triad members show no hesitation in taking action. And this is what happens. After taking out Lawrence's aide, they immediately brought Lawrence to the Triad matriarch. Meanwhile, Walker went to the hospital to visit Cortez, his partner who had been injured by a falling washing machine. There, he also ran into Vincent, Jack, and Hayes from the narcotics division, his old colleagues from when he served in the same unit. Wasting no time, Walker headed straight to Cortez's room. Inside, he saw Cortez's wife crying beside her unconscious husband. Walker tried to comfort her. Seeing his partner lying weak and unconscious, Walker couldn't hold back the haunting shadows of his dark past. Back when he was part of the narcotics division, he, along with Cortez, Vincent, Jack, and Hayes, had once been involved in a major crime, smuggling illegal substances. During one of their operations, Walker accidentally struck an undercover intel officer, leaving him critically injured. Consumed by guilt, Walker tried to convince Vincent to take the officer to the hospital. But out of fear their crimes would be exposed, Vincent chose to finish him off instead. Since that day, both Walker and Cortez have never known peace. They've been haunted by a deep and lingering guilt. At the same time, Mia visited her uncle, a document forgery expert. Here, Mia and Charlie asked for fake passports, as they planned to flee the country before being hunted down by the police and the Triad. Worried for her safety, the uncle asked Mia to contact him if anything happened and requested that they meet at a nightclub before escaping.
I call you, you don't call me. Be safe.
I have the passports ready by this evening.
Not long after Mia and Charlie had left, Mia's uncle was visited by Walker, who was trying to track them down. Walker promised to protect Mia, as long as her uncle was willing to reveal their whereabouts. After the uncle agreed and provided the information, Walker asked him to pretend not to know him when the other officers arrived, in order to keep the plan going without raising suspicion.
Put your fucking hands on! Turn around, face the wall! Put your fucking... Hold him the fuck down!
On the other side, Mother's henchmen captured one of Charlie and Mia's friends. They then forced him to reveal the location of the two. Fearing for his life, he eventually confessed everything.
The girl. I know, the girl.
That night, Mia secretly went to a nightclub to meet her uncle, who had promised to give her a fake passport. But instead of her uncle, it was Walker who showed up. He told her that he was there to save her. However, the situation quickly grew tense. At the same moment, Vincent, Jack and Hayes appeared, intending to capture Mia and Charlie. Mia warned Walker that they were the masked hockey gang responsible for the Triad shooting. The chaos escalated even further when the Triad enforcers arrived at the same place, also aiming to seize Mia and Charlie. Walker immediately realized two deadly sides were now fighting over the same targets, and so this is what happened. In the midst of the battle, Charlie and her uncle arrived to help Mia. Seeing his niece in danger, the uncle didn't hesitate to take down anyone who threatened her safety. Soon after, the local police arrived to secure the situation. But... yes, Mother's aide appeared. As her uncle was shot, he chose to sacrifice himself to give Mia a chance to escape from the place.
Get the fuck in!
Fortunately, Walker managed to get Charlie and Mia out of the location. He immediately contacted Ellie and asked for her help in protecting Cortez and his wife, convinced they would be the next targets after uncovering Vincent and Ching's conspiracy. Unfortunately, Ellie was too late. Ching had already arrived at the hospital, with one intention: to silence Cortez. Permanently, without hesitation, Ching eliminated him to ensure their secret remained buried. Not only did Ching kill Cortez, he also murdered his wife. Not standing idly by, Ellie, who had just arrived, immediately chased after Ching and managed to capture him.
Don't fucking move.
Ellie forced Ching to call Vincent and Jack to a certain location as part of a trap. There, just when they thought they were about to conduct an illegal substance deal, Vincent was caught off guard by Ellie's sudden appearance, pointing a gun straight at him.
Jane, where's the fucking buyer? On his way.
Don't even fucking try it.
You don't look much like a cop killer.
Hard to tell you're a cop in the dark.
On the other side, Walker took Charlie and Mia to hide in his late father's old house. He then contacted Lawrence, asking him to come pick up Charlie and informing him of the location. Unfortunately, Lawrence had already been captured by Mother, and as a result, she managed to extract the hideout's location and immediately dispatched hundreds of her men to surround it. And so, this is what happened next. When Mia and Charlie were captured, Walker, having taken down all of Mother's henchmen, rushed in to save them. But just as he was about to succeed, Mother's trusted lieutenant suddenly appeared and stood in his way. And this is what happened next. After taking everyone down, Walker was left lying, helpless, on the ground. As he struggled to get back up, Mother and her men arrived and immediately captured both Mia and Charlie. She then ordered Lawrence to execute them both. At that moment, Lawrence couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger, despite their strained relationship. It turned out he still cared about his son, and just as Lawrence was about to kill Mia, Charlie pleaded with his father not to take her life.
You're gonna shoot me! You have to wait! You shoot through me! Lose anybody else, then I can't lose anymore!
In the midst of that tense moment, Ellie suddenly arrived, bringing Ching, Vincent, and Jack with her. There, Ellie revealed the truth to Mother. The one behind her son's murder wasn't Charlie. It was Ching. Hearing this, Mother was left speechless. She never imagined that the one who killed her son was her own younger brother. It turned out, Ching had harbored jealousy from the start, believing he should have been the rightful leader of the Triad. What followed was chaos. The situation spiraled out of control. As Ellie found herself cornered, with no bullets left, Jack pointed his gun at her. But... yes, Charlie took out Jack, avenging his father's death, because Jack was the one who had killed him. In the chaos, Mother and Ching were killed. As Ellie secured Charlie and Mia, she instructed them to surrender to the police station. They realized their mistakes and decided to go to the police station. Meanwhile, Walker saw Vincent trying to escape with his illegal substances. Walker immediately chased after him and was left with no choice. He had to take him down to make sure there would be no more dirty cops in the city.
You don't get the fucking backpack.
Don't make me put you down, Vince.
In the end, Walker admitted to his past mistakes and decided to turn himself in to Ellie as a way of taking responsibility for what he had done all this time.
Your daughter. I'll take the present to her.
Finished. As a closing, the character of Walker in Havoc 2025 teaches us that despite life being full of challenges and tough choices, we must remain brave in facing reality and take responsibility for every action we make. Every decision, no matter how small, can affect not only ourselves, but also those around us. From loyalty, courage, to patience in the face of difficulties, this film reminds us that choosing wisely and upholding moral values is the key to overcoming obstacles in life. Hopefully, the moral message from this film can inspire us to always strive to become better individuals, even in the midst of chaos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Thank you.